Hey guys, I just wanted to make a quick video just kind of comparing the AAXA M1 projector, which is this guy right here, to the Cinemin Slice, which is this guy right over here. Another main point is going to be price, and the M1 is about $249 in stores right now, and the Cinemin Slice is about $430, which is rather expensive as far as Pico projectors are concerned. And I just wasn't all that impressed with the output of the video for $430, which is kind of expensive. It seems like you're paying mostly for the speakers, which you can get a really nice set of speakers for about $200, and you're gonna blow these speakers away. So I just didn't see the justification in spending that much money, especially too when you're talking about brightness. Now the M1 right here is 75 lumens, and this is only about 16, and it's just that's a big difference, and you'll see in the video. I'll show you later how much brighter and bigger the picture you can get, and I really also wasn't impressed with how sharp this Cinemin Slice is. I don't know if I have a bad unit or what, but when we're projecting the image out there, just even when it's perfectly in focus, is just not sharp. It was rather unimpressive. I have some photos that can kind of show you, which show that they're both perfectly in focus because you can see the pixelation. However, it's just not sharp. The pixels aren't sharp. It just doesn't look good. Now, with the Cinemin Slice, another thing that I didn't really like was going to be that there weren't very many settings. Now with the M1, I went through and clicked, and I could put it on a movie setting or kind of change the color around to match the picture styles that I really enjoy, or sharpen it up, or more specifically, really is what it comes down to is the keystoning. And I can put the projector at an angle like this, and kind of fix that warp image to make it look normal when it's projecting on the wall. Whereas with the Cinemin Slice here, when you're projecting, you really only have two options, which are one, to project straight up onto the ceiling and lay down on your back, obviously, and watch a movie, or flop this thing down at 90 degrees right here and project it straight onto a wall, which that leaves you, you're very limited in what you can project, because this has to be an exact height. It has to be here if you want to project there, or if you want it lower, you have to lower the whole entire unit, which isn't always the case. Sometimes that's a little bit difficult. So I was kind of bummed about that. The other thing that I really wanted to point out was how difficult this slider is to use. So this is the focus thing right here. I don't know if you can see it very well. I'll zoom in. It's not going to focus, but just right there, and it's really it's a little touchy and kind of sticky, and so it's kind of hard to get that in perfect because there's no good leverage you can use to slowly move that around. Whereas when you have a circular type focus thing right here, you can really kind of just dial that in sort of perfectly, and you can see it like go back and forth, and we can get a really sharp image really fast, where this took me about 5 minutes just to get it in focus, which was really bugging. So yeah, anyway, those are my thoughts. Again, I still think this is a really cool unit. The sound was really awesome. I just think in a comparison, the M1 does beat it in every class except for sound, which is easily solved. So when I'm buying a projector, I really care about the image quality that it projects, not so much the sound. It is a cool unit. The design is really awesome. The idea behind having that sound dock and this just pop out and sticking your iPad on there is pretty cool. However, I just wasn't sold for $430. If the price drops, I'm all over this unit. But as it stands right now, this is just a better deal. So here are the images side by side, and this camera is just not doing justice to what they actually look like in person. This camera makes it look like this image over here on the left, which is the Cinemin Slice, looks perfect almost, and this one over here looks a little washed out. Whereas actually in the case, in real life, the camera is doing like a contrast adjustment in camera because it's a flip camera, so everything's auto. But over here, this image is way too contrasty. His skins are like, the tones are all orangey and weird, and everything's kind of like super dark. Whereas over here, it's actually more true to life, and the blacks are relatively dark, and they just look good. The other issue is that there's this disproportion of the image shape because I wanted to project it a little bit higher because sitting on this table, you know, projecting it right off the ground just doesn't really work. I needed to be up in the air so that everyone can actually see it. And then there's no keystoning corrections, so I have this weird disproportionate image that's wider up here as it is down here. Whereas with the AAXA right here, we have a correction, which is this software setting that you can do that changes, actually shrinks the top of the size of the image so that when you project it at an upwards angle, it still keeps its correct proportions.